Sure. Here's a great, deepest, and fully detailed summary of the entire passage about Kingdom Plantae, explained in the simplest and clearest way, while still covering every important point thoroughly. Kingdom Plantae, deepest detail summary in simplest words. What is Kingdom Plantae? Kingdom Plantae is one of the major groups, or kingdoms, in which scientists classify living things. This kingdom includes all plants, from simple green algae to huge flowering trees. Plants are living organisms that are usually green, can make their own food from sunlight, called photosynthesis, have special structures inside their cells, like chloroplasts and cell walls. Characteristics of plants in detail. 1. Eukaryotic cells. Plants are made of eukaryotic cells. That means their cells have a nucleus, a control center, and other tiny parts, organelles, inside. These cells are complex compared to bacteria. 2. Chlorophyll and photosynthesis. Plants have a green substance called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is found inside parts called chloroplasts. It helps plants absorb sunlight and turn it into food using sunlight, water, carbon dioxide from the air. This process is called photosynthesis. 3. Cell wall made of cellulose. Every plant cell has a thick, strong wall around it. This wall is made of a substance called cellulose. It gives plants their shape, strength, and support. 4. Mostly autotrophic. Plants are autotrophic. They make their own food using sunlight. 5. Some are partially heterotrophic. A few unusual plants don't only rely on sunlight. They also get food from other living things. These are called partially heterotrophic. There are 2 types: insectivorous plants like Venus flytrap and bladderwort, which trap and eat insects. Parasitic plants like Cuscuta, which steals food and water from other plants. Types of plants in Kingdom Plantae. Scientists divide plants into 5 major groups, from simplest to most complex. 1. Very simple, green organisms mostly live in water, no roots, stems, or leaves. Example, green algae, seaweed. 2. Bryophytes. Small green land plants grow in moist, shady places, no real roots, stems, or flowers. Reproduce with spores. Example, moss. 3. Pteridophytes. Bigger than bryophytes, have roots, stems, and leaves. Still do not have flowers or seeds. Reproduce using spores. Example, gymnosperms, plants with seeds but no flowers. Seeds are naked, not inside a fruit, usually tall with needle-like leaves. Example, pine, cedar. 5. Angiosperms. These are flowering plants, have seeds inside fruits, most common group of plants on Earth. Example, rose, mango, wheat. Life cycle of plants, alternation of generations. Plants have a special type of life cycle that includes 2 phases. The 2 phases. 1, sporophyte diploid phase, has 2 sets of chromosomes, makes spores. These spores grow into the next phase. 2, gametophyte haploid phase, has 1 set of chromosomes, makes gametes, sperm and egg cells. These gametes combine to form a new sporophyte. This back and forth cycle is called alternation of generations. In some plants, like moss, the haploid stage is longer. In others, like trees, the diploid stage is longer. Sometimes both stages live on their own. Sometimes one stage depends on the other. What you'll learn later. More deep study of plant groups will be done in Chapter 3. More details about plant cells and their inner parts will be in Chapter 8. Final recap summary. At a glance, feat description. Cell type, eukaryotic with nucleus. Nutrition, mostly autotrophic, make their own food using sunlight. Cell wall, made of cellulose. Photosynthesis, done using chlorophyll in chloroplasts. Exceptions, some are insectivorous, eat bugs, or parasitic, steal food. Main groups, algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. Life cycle, alternates between diploid and haploid gametophyte stages. Coming up, Cell details in Chapter 8, more plant info in Chapter 3. Would you like this summary as a PDF, table, chart, flashcards, or memory tips to help you remember it better? Just tell me. Absolutely. Let me now explain Kingdom Animalia in great detail, but in the simplest, most beginner-friendly way, as if teaching a child with zero background in science. Kingdom Animalia. Super simple, in-depth, line-by-line explanation. 1. This kingdom is characterized by heterotrophic eukaryotic organisms that are multicellular and their cells lack cell walls. Break it down word by word. This kingdom, a kingdom is a very big group in science used to organize living things. Animalia means all animals belong in this group. Characterized by, this means known by or recognized because of. Heterotrophic, trophic equals food. So heterotrophic means animals get food from other sources. They cannot make their own food like plants do. Plants use sunlight to make food. They are autotrophic, but animals eat food to get energy. Eukaryotic. Their cells have a nucleus like a brain or control room of the cell. U equals true, karyon equals nucleus, so eukaryotic equals cells with a true nucleus. Multicellular, multi equals many, cellular equals cells, so animals are made of many cells. Cells lack cell walls. Unlike plant cells that have rigid walls like boxes, animal cells are soft and flexible. This helps animals move freely. Example, a dog, a bird, a fish, a frog. They are all animals with many cells, a nucleus, and no cell wall. 2. They directly or indirectly depend on plants for food. Meaning, directly, some animals eat plants. Example, cow eats grass, rabbit eats carrots. Indirectly, some animals eat other animals who have eaten plants. Example, a lion eats a deer. The deer ate grass earlier. So the lion indirectly depends on plants. So, all animals need plants at the start of the food chain. 3. They digest their food in an internal cavity and store food reserves as glycogen or fat. Let's simplify. Animals eat food. The food goes inside their body. Internal cavity equals inside space, like the stomach. The food is broken down there, digestion. Extra food is stored as glycogen, a form of sugar kept mostly in liver and muscles. Fat, stored under the skin or around organs as energy backup. Example, after a big meal, your body stores some energy as fat for later use. 4. Their mode of nutrition is holozoic by ingestion of food. Simple words, mode of nutrition, the way animals eat. Holozoic means animals eat solid food and break it down inside their body. Ingestion, taking food into the body by mouth. Example, when you eat rice or a sandwich, you chew it, ingest, swallow it, and digest it inside. 5. They follow a definite growth pattern and grow into adults that have a definite shape and size. Meaning, animals start as babies, then grow. They don't change randomly. They follow a step-by-step pattern. Every species has a final shape and size as an adult. Example, a puppy becomes a dog, not a cat. A tadpole becomes a frog, not a fish. 6. Higher forms show elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanism. Easy meaning, higher forms equals more advanced animals like dogs, birds, and humans. Sensory system, parts of the body that help animals sense the world. Eyes, see, ears, skin, touch, nose, smell, tongue, taste. Neuromotor mechanism, neuro equals nerves, motor equals movement. It means the brain and nerves control movement. Example, you feel heat from a fire, your skin senses it, your brain tells your hand to move away. 7. Most of them are capable of locomotion. Meaning, locomotion equals moving from one place to another. Most animals can move on their own. Examples, humans walk or run. Birds fly, fish swim, snakes crawl. 8. The sexual reproduction is by copulation of male and female, followed by embryological development. Let's break this down gently. Sexual reproduction equals a male and a female come together to make a baby. Copulation, the process of mating. After this, a tiny baby called an embryo starts forming. The embryo grows and develops into a full baby, either inside the body like humans or inside an egg like birds. Example, a cat mate forms a kitten embryo. The embryo grows in the mother's belly, becomes a baby cat. 9. Salient features of various phyla are described in Chapter 4. Simple version. Salient equals important. Phyla equals big groups of animals with similar body plans. We will learn about different animal groups like Porifera, sponges, Cnidaria, jellyfish, Arthropoda, insects, spiders, crabs, Mollusca, snails, octopuses, Chordata, fish, birds, mammals, humans. All these will be in Chapter 4. Final super simple feature. What it means. No cell wall in cells. Animals are heterotrophic. They eat food from outside, plants or other animals. Eukaryotic and multicellular. Their bodies have many cells, each with a nucleus. No cell wall in cells. Their cells are soft, not stiff like plant cells. Digest food inside. They eat and break food down in stomach or gut. Store extra food as fat glycogen. They save energy for later use. Holozoic nutrition. They eat solid food by mouth and digest it. Grow with set pattern. Babies grow into adults with a fixed shape and size. Sense and move. Most animals feel their surroundings and can move. Sexual reproduction. Male and female mate to produce embryos.
Would you like me to now create a comic strip for Kingdom Animalia too?
Or can also make flashcards, quiz, or story examples to help you remember it easily. Absolutely. Let's go even deeper and explain more in the simplest and most complete way, just like a kind teacher teaching someone with no background at all. We'll expand everything, give more examples, add diagrams in words, stories, comparisons, and memory tips. Full, deepest, simplest explanation of viruses, virions, and lichens. Part 1, viruses, half-dead, half-alive creatures. What is a virus? Imagine a tiny robot carrying instructions. This robot sleeps, does nothing outside your body, wakes up and attacks when inside your cells. It has no arms, no brain, no stomach. It can't move or grow by itself, but when it enters a cell, it steals the cell's energy and makes copies of itself. What is it made of? A virus is made of 2 main things. 1, genetic material, like instructions, either DNA or RNA, not both. This tells the virus how to make more copies of itself. 2, protein coat, called a capsid, like a shell or armor that protects the instructions. Sometimes there's a third part. 3, lipid envelope, fat layer found in viruses like COVID-19 can be broken with soap. How does a virus attack? Step by step. 1, finds a host cell like a human cell or plant cell. 2, attaches to it like a key in a lock. 3, injects its genetic material. 4, takes control of the cell like hijacker. 5, forces the cell to make copies of the virus. 6, cell bursts and dies. 7, new viruses spread to other cells. This is how you get sick, like flu, cold, COVID-19, etc. Discovery of viruses, scientists' year, what they did.
Ivanowski.
1892, found virus in tobacco plants. Bajorink, 1898, named it virus, called it a living fluid. Stanley, 1935, crystallized virus, proved it's not alive outside a host. Are viruses alive? Let's compare. Property, living cell, virus. Made of cell. Made of cells? Yes, no. Can grow? Yes, no. Uses energy? Yes. Can reproduce? Yes. Only inside a host. Responds to stimuli? Yes, no. Can crystallize? Yes. Conclusion. Viruses are not fully alive, but not fully non-living either. They are in between. That's why they're not in the five kingdoms. Real life examples of viruses. Influenza virus causes flu. Rhinovirus causes common cold. Coronavirus causes COVID-19. Tobacco mosaic virus infects plants. Bacteriophage infects bacteria. Looks like a robot. Part 2. Viroids, naked trouble for plants. What is a viroid? Imagine just the tiny instructions of a virus without the shell. That's a viroid. Only RNA, no protein coat, infects only plants. Who discovered viroids? Theodore Odina, 1971, found in infected potatoes. Disease, potato spindle tuber disease. How do viroids cause damage? They enter a plant cell, mix with the plant's RNA, mess up how the plant makes proteins. This makes the plant sick, weak, or die. Easy way to remember. Viroid equals void virus. A virus without a coat, very small, affects plants only. Part 3. Prions, protein gone crazy. What is a prion? Imagine a badly folded protein. This bad protein enters the brain, touches normal proteins, makes them fold the wrong way, turns the brain into sponge-like holes, causes brain damage and death. What is it made of? Only protein, no DNA, no RNA, no cell, not alive. Who discovered prions? Stanley Prusiner in 1982. He won the Nobel Prize for this discovery. Examples of prion diseases: mad cow disease in cows, Creutzfeldt disease in humans, scrapie in sheep. Part 4. Lichens, nature's best friendship. What is a lichen? A partnership between 1. A fungus gives shape, protection, and water. 2. An alga or cyanobacterium makes food using sunlight, photosynthesis. Together they live like one single organism. Where do lichens grow? On rocks, walls, trees, even in hot deserts or icy mountains. First to grow on bare rocks, help make soil. Why are lichens important? Used to test air pollution. They die in polluted air, help in soil formation, used in dyes, perfumes, and medicines. Early colonizers in nature. Easy final summary table. Name alive, made of, effects, extra info. Virus semi-alive, DNA, RNA plus protein coat. Planimals, humans, reproduces only inside host. Viroid, not alive, RNA only. Plants only, smallest known infectious agent. Prion, not alive, protein only. Humans, animals, brain, misfolded protein. Lichen, combo, fungus plus alga cyanobacteria, grows on surfaces, shows clean air. Memory tricks topic, trick, Triris, vampire robot, wakes up inside a host. Viroid, void virus, empty version of virus. Protein gone wrong, messes up the brain. Like a team, fungus, alga, working together. Would you like a picture or cartoon style diagram of each? A small worksheet or quiz? Real world examples? Let me know. I'll help make it unforgettable. Absolutely. Here's the greatest, deepest, most detailed summary of the passage you asked for, written in the simplest, clearest way, as if teaching someone with no prior knowledge at all. Let's break it all down like the world's best teacher, using examples, comparisons, and careful step-by-step explanations. The most detailed and simple summary. Topic: what viruses are made of and how they work. Part 1. What is a virus made of? A virus is a very tiny particle that is not made of cells, unlike plants, animals, or bacteria. A virus has 2 main parts. 1. Genetic material. This is like the virus's secret plan or code. It tells the virus how to make more viruses. This genetic material can be RNA, single-stranded or double-stranded, DNA, single-stranded or double-stranded. Important. A virus has only one kind of genetic material. Either RNA or DNA, never both. 2. Protein coat called capsid. This is the virus's hard outer shell. It protects the delicate genetic material inside. It's made of smaller pieces called capsomeres. The capsomeres are put together in specific shapes: helical, spiral like a spring; polyhedral, many-sided like a dice. Think of the virus like a candy. The wrapper is the protein coat, capsid. The filling is the genetic material, RNA or DNA. Part 2. Types of genetic material. Based on what the virus infects, different viruses infect different living things. Their genetic material type is usually based on what they infect. What the virus infects, type of genetic material. Plants, mostly single-stranded RNA. Animals, humans, can have single-stranded RNA. Double-stranded RNA, double-stranded DNA. Bacteria, mostly double-stranded DNA. Part 3. What is a bacteriophage? A bacteriophage is a type of virus that infects and destroys bacteria. The name means bacteria, phage, eater. So it's a bacteria-eating virus. They look like a mini robot spider. They land on bacteria, inject their DNA into it, take over the bacteria's inner system, force the bacteria to make many more viruses. Then the bacteria bursts and the new viruses come out. Part 4. How viruses behave. Outside a host cell, viruses are inert, inactive. Once inside a host cell, viruses become active. They take over the host cell's machinery, hijacking a factory. The virus forces the cell. Then the host cell dies or bursts, and new viruses go out to infect other cells. Imagine a USB drive virus plugged into a computer cell. It installs a virus program. The computer stops working normally. It starts copying and spreading more virus programs. Part 5. What diseases are caused by viruses? In humans, mumps, painful swelling in cheeks, smallpox, fever and red bumpy rashes all over the body, herpes, painful sores on skin or mouth, influenza flu, fever, cough, body aches, AIDS caused by the HIV virus damages immune system badly. In plants, viruses can cause mosaic pattern, patches on leaves that look like mosaics, leaf rolling curling, leaves twist or roll up, yellowing, leaves lose their green color, vein clearing, veins in leaves become colorless, dwarfing, plant stays small, stunted growth, plant grows slowly or not at all. Plants infected with viruses look weak, strange or damaged. Super simple comparison, the spy story. Imagine a virus is a spy. 1. The spy carries secret plans, RNA or DNA. 2. The spy wears a protective jacket, protein coat. 3. The spy sneaks into a factory, your body's cell, by force factory to stop normal work and start making copies of the spy. 5. When the job is done, the factory explodes, dies, and the new spies go out to other factories. That's how a virus spreads. That final deep summary table, concept, simple meaning, the virus's secret code, virus. Tiny particle not made of cells can infect living things. The virus's secret code, either RNA or DNA, never capsid, hard protein shell around the genetic material, capsomes, small building blocks that make up the capsid, helical, polyhedral, the shapes of the virus's outer shell, bacteriophage, virus that infects and destroys bacteria, causes diseases like flu, mumps, smallpox, herpes, AIDS. In plants, causes things like leaf curling, yellowing, stunted growth. In bacteria, bacteriophages inject their DNA and take over the bacteria, alive or not. Inactive outside cells, active and alive-like only when inside host cells. Would you like me to create a visual chart, comic strip, or flashcards for this summary to help you memorize it easily? Absolutely. Let's now go even deeper, even simpler, and explain everything again with step-by-step detail, as if teaching someone with zero science background, like telling a story. Tiny troublemakers in plants. What is a viroid? Let's imagine a tiny piece of string made from letters. That string is a viroid. It's so small that even a microscope struggles to see it. It's even smaller than a virus. It has only RNA, a type of genetic instruction, but nothing else. It doesn't even have a jacket, protein coat, like viruses do. Story of the discovery. In 1971, a scientist named Teodina was studying potatoes. He noticed some potatoes had a strange disease. They grew long and skinny, like a finger, not round and fat like normal. He found a new tiny thing causing this. It was just RNA. No coat, no shell, no proteins, only naked genetic material. He named it a viroid. How it works. Imagine a note RNA being passed around without an envelope. That's the viroid, just the message, no envelope. It doesn't build things like viruses do, but it hijacks plant cells and confuses their machinery, like giving them bad instructions. Result, the plant gets sick. What diseases does it cause? Viroids cause plant diseases like potato spindle tuber disease, coconut cankerdang, tomato bunchy top. These diseases make plants grow weirdly, produce fewer sick.
Part 2. Prions. Protein gone bad.
What is a prion? A prion is not a virus, not bacteria, not even a living thing. It's just a protein, a tiny structure made from amino acids. But here's the scary part. This protein is folded the wrong way. The bad shape makes it dangerous. It can turn other healthy proteins into bad ones too, like a Where do prions attack? They attack the brain and nervous system. They cause holes in the brain, like a sponge. That's why one disease is called spongiform encephalopathy. What diseases do they cause? One in cows, mad cow disease, real name BSE. 2 in humans, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, CJD. 3 in sheep, scrapie. 4 in deer, chronic wasting disease. Symptoms: memory loss, behavior changes, movement problems, death, very serious and fatal. Why are prions so scary? No DNA or RNA, just bad-shaped proteins, cannot be destroyed easily by heat or disinfectant, can stay in the body a long time before symptoms appear. Part-3. Lichens. Nature's teamwork champions. What is a lichen? A lichen is not one thing. It's a team of 2 different living things. A fungus likes to live in cool, damp places. An alga, a tiny green plant that uses sunlight to make food. These 2 become best friends and live together as one. Who does what? Let's compare it to roommates. Role, lichen partner, what it does. Cook, alga microbiome, makes food using sunlight, photosynthesis. Housekeeper, fungus microbiome, puts shelter, water and mineral. Alga makes food and the fungus gives protection and nutrients. Where do we find lichens? Lichens grow on tree trunks, rock walls, even roofs, harsh places, even cold mountains and deserts. Lichens as pollution detectors. Lichens hate pollution. If the air is dirty, they disappear. That's why scientists use them to check air quality. If you see lichens growing equals clean air. If no lichens, air might be polluted. Fun facts, lichens can be different colors: green, yellow, red, black. Some are used to make dyes. Some are used in medicines. Reindeer eat them in snowy lands. Super simple summary table. Type, what is it? Who it infects, made of. Extra facts. Plants, smaller shaped proteins you like. Him, thyroid, tiny plant disease causing RNA. Plants, only RNA, no protein coat. Smallest known infectious agent. Prion, bad-shaped protein. Zombie, humans and animals only team, no genes. Destroys brain, can't be easily killed. Lichen, alga plus fungus living together. Not disease, it's a team. Alga-fungus symbiosis, air pollution detector. Would you like me to now make a comic strip showing this story visually in pictures like a cartoon? Here is a great, deep and very detailed summary of the entire explanation above, written in very simple, clear words, step by step, like you're learning from the beginning. Deeply detailed summary of biological classification. 1. What is biological classification? Biological classification means grouping all living things, plants, animals, bacteria, etc., into categories based on how similar they are. This makes it easier to study, understand, and remember them. 2. Early classification by Aristotle. Aristotle was an ancient Greek philosopher. He was the first person to try grouping living things. He used simple features of the body, like wings, blood, number of legs, to put them into groups. For example, animals that lived in water versus land, or animals that had blood versus those that didn't. 3. Two-kingdom system by Linnaeus. Carl Linnaeus, a scientist, created a better system. He divided all living things in 2 main groups. 1. Plantae, all types of plants. 2. Animalia, all types of animals. But this system was still too simple. It didn't include microbes like bacteria, fungi like mushrooms, or single-celled organisms like amoeba. 4. 5-kingdom system by R.H. Whitaker. To fix this, Whitaker created a new, better system with 5 kingdoms. Kingdom, what it includes: Tis-celled organisms with a real name, bacteria and other tiny, simple, single-celled organisms with no real nucleus. Protista, tiny single-celled algae. Fungi, mushrooms, yeasts, molds, feed on dead things. Plants, all plants from algae to flowering trees. All animals from insects to humans.
5.
How Whittaker classified organisms. Whittaker used 5 main organisms in kingdoms. 1. Cell structure, simple cell, prokaryote, or complex cell, eukaryote. 2. Body type, single-celled or many-celled. 3. Nutrition, do they make food, autotrophs, or eat others, heterotrophs? 4. Reproduction, how do they create new organisms, asexually or sexually? 5. Evolutionary history, how are they related to other organisms? Now, let's go deep into each kingdom. Monera, bacteria, made of one single simple cell. No real nucleus, their DNA floats around in the cell. Includes bacteria and cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. Found everywhere in water, soil, air, human bodies, even volcanoes and ice. Can be autotrophic, make their own food. Heterotrophic, get food from outside. Very diverse metabolism, many ways of breaking down food. Kingdom Protista, single-celled eukaryotes, also one-celled, but have a real nucleus. Live in water or moist places. Some behave like animals, move and eat, and some like plants, make their own food. Examples: chrysophytes, golden algae; dinoflagellates, tiny plankton; euglenoids can act like both plants and animals; slime molds, oozy stuff that feeds on dead things; protozoa, like amoeba or paramecium, can reproduce both asexually, split into 2, sexually, 2 cells join and share DNA. Kingdom fungi, multicellular, many cells organisms. Examples: mushrooms, bread mold, yeast. They do not make their own food. They are saprophytic. They feed on dead or decaying matter. Live in moist, dark places. Can reproduce. Asexually, by spores. Sexually. Fungi are grouped into 4 types. 1. Phycomycetes, live in water or wet places. 2. Ascomycetes, sac fungi like yeast. 3. Basidiomycetes, includes mushrooms. 4. Deuteromycetes, imperfect fungi, unknown sexual stage. Kingdom Plantae, all plants belong here. Plants are eukaryotic, have real nucleus, and make their own food using chlorophyll. They cannot move. Types of plants. 1. Algae, simple watery plants. 2. Bryophytes, mosses. 3. Pteridophytes. 3. Ferns. 4. Gymnosperms, cone-bearing plants. 5. Angiosperms, flowering plants like rose, mango. Plants have a life cycle that includes gametophyte stage, make sex cells; sporophyte stage, make spores. This is called alternation of generations. Kingdom Animalia, all animals belong here, from tiny insects to humans. Eukaryotic and multicellular, no cell wall unlike plants. Cannot make their own food. They are heterotrophic, usually move from place to place. Highly developed systems like nervous system, brain, etc. Final points. Kingdom, type of cells, know of cells, nucleus, food type, movement. Examples, move from place to place. Monera, prokaryotic, one single, no. Auto or hetero, no. Bacteria, Protista, eukaryotic, one single, yes. Auto or hetero, yes. Amoeba, algae, fungi, eukaryotic, many, yes. Saprophytic, no. Mushroom, yeast, plant, eukaryotic, many, yes. Autotrophic, no. Tree, grass, algae, animalia, eukaryotic, yes. Heterotrophic, yes. Human, dog, fish, bird. Would you like me to turn this into a colourful chart, a memory story, or a flashcard style summary to help you remember even better?